Tonight, Buddy Murphy experienced the Velveteen Dream in an instant classic for the North American Championship. And Kairi Sane, unfortunately, sailed away from NXT and now is in murky waters on Smackdown Live. All this tonight, right here on NXT for Off the Script.
Delete! This is mine.
Alive with it. People still did. Man, I hate that word. Experience. Imagine that. Only in WWE can they get us to hate the word experience. The Velveteen Dream experience. Well, the Velveteen experience Dream. The JD experience. The off-the-script experience. The experience your mother had on Tuesday night during Smackdown Live because I couldn't bear to see boring, bland Roman Reigns come out and be announced as the greatest acquisition in SmackDown Live history. I needed to fucking clear my mind and do something that I enjoyed doing. So I called her up. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. This was one of the most bizarre weeks. One of the most chaotic weeks in all of WWE. Thank God we got NXT. Buddy Murphy, my boy Buddy Murphy, coming over from 205 Live. Now he's on SmackDown Live. They even gave him the nice graphic. The nice SmackDown Live name graphic on NXT tonight. But the War Raiders were wearing old merchandise that said War Raiders tonight. Which I'm assuming the last minute decision was Vince McMahon in Gorilla. Who the fuck are these guys? What is their name? The War Raiders, Vince. War? Now we gotta change it. Go on Google. First thing that pops up is two common Viking names. And then the Viking experience. There you go. Go out there. No NXT titles? Fuck them. They're worthless. Anyway. I don't know, man. I am burnt out this week. I really am. It's not even off the script weekend. I have nothing to do with off the script yet, and I'm fucking burnt out. I really am. But Buddy Murphy, man, he is my greatest acquisition on SmackDown Live. Fuck a Finn Balor. Fuck a Lars Sullivan. Fuck a Roman Reigns. Buddy Murphy is the greatest acquisition for SmackDown Live. We'll talk about that. Great match with the North American champion, Velveteen Dream, tonight to open the show. We got Kairi Sane, her last night ever on NXT. She was in a women's championship match against Shayna Baszler. And now she's setting sail for SmackDown Live. Maybe somebody should tell Kairi Sane that she's headed right for a fucking iceberg. And her ship is going to sink. And the wreckage will go completely missing. I fear for that woman's safety on the main roster. I really do. Might be great now that she's being paired with Asuka, the honeymoon phase. Oh, look, Kairi Sane up from NXT. Everybody loves cute, adorable Kairi Sane. Wait till Vince McMahon gets a fucking microphone in her hand and she speaks. Forget about it. Talk about a wreckage. Oh my God, man. I don't want to be around when I see that fucking disaster unfolding. We'll talk about that. Poor little Kairi Sane on her way to SmackDown Live, her last night on NXT. I also have news on Kushida. I got news on Damien Priest, formerly Punishment Martinez. Nice play on words there, WWE. Damien Priest. Unreal. And then we got news on Shane Strickland. The Swerve. Shane Strickland is now in NXT. I hope he realizes what he just did. I don't know. They all want to go to NXT. That's great. After NXT, forget about it. You're on your own. So we'll go over all that today right here on the podcast, man. Make sure you guys go follow me on social media. At JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys for the follows and the love on social media. We are almost at 27,000 followers on Twitter. Almost at 7,000 followers on Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you are new or old, thank you guys so very much for hitting that subscribe button. If you're new, I'd love for you guys to sound off in the comment section and let me know how you found the podcast. Whether it was from a hashtag on Twitter, or something that someone posted on social media, or if you just found me randomly on the YouTube channel. Just search in YouTube for WWE reviews. Let me know down below in the comment section. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want to support the podcast through the Patreon page, you guys certainly can do that down below. I got to shout out a beast today if I can find him. Someone pledged to the Patreon page this evening. I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, you'll get a shout out on Off the Script because I know I got a notification for it this evening. I'm sorry about that. I am unprepared right now. I got my notes in front of me, but I don't have that information in front of me, but I look like a fucking clown right now. So you get your Off the Script podcast shout out this Friday. So make sure you guys are listening to all of that this week. And should be good. I got a lot of news coming up. A lot of news on Sasha Banks, a lot of news on the shakeup. I actually did something this afternoon as far as the shakeup goes. We got a new video out today, Off the Script Extra. This was Smackdown Live, the most boring and bland acquisition in Smackdown Live history. And there you see with Roman Reigns. This was today's video. Major moves still planned for the Superstar shakeup this week. Luke Harper says goodbye to WWE. Is he AEW bound? And no, I am not proclaiming everybody go to AEW for their release from WWE or when they get off of the WWE ball and chain. I'm not saying that they're all going to AEW. I just think it's a logical fit. If you guys want my thoughts on the entire Sasha Banks situation, make sure you guys go and check that out. Everything you need is linked in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. And the experience that I wish I was a part of, Vince McMahon's departure. Sadly, we don't know when that's coming. But we got the Viking experience, which was god-awful. Make sure you guys go and check all that out. Link will be in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. I appreciate all your support this week. We are absolutely killing it right now on the channel. Milestone, thanks to Salrex for making this beautiful graphic. I will not be at Double or Nothing. I've made the decision I will not be going to Las Vegas, even though I want to go to Vegas. Any excuse to go to Vegas is great. I just can't get in touch with the fucking people over at StarCast. Their loss, not mine. We're now over 108,000 subscribers. JD Elite members, I say thank you. Can we reach the milestone of 115,000 before Double or Nothing weekend? Now, that might be stretching the goal a little bit. I would be okay with 110. So make sure you guys, again, hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you go get your t-shirts, JDs Elite, right now at bonfire.com. One of the top-selling t-shirts in the entire internet wrestling community. Become one of my elite members. Link is down below. Like I mentioned, bonfire.com/store/off the script. You'll see it right there at the top of the description. Let's get into the news, man. I want to start off with the minor news stories that I have with NXT. Start off with this one. Kushida, something that I'm excited about. Though I have no faith in WWE to do anything with Kushida after NXT. If he makes it to that point, he'll probably end up on 205 Live. Shinsuke Nakamura believes that WWE signing Kushida for NXT is historic. They said the same thing about Hideo Itami. What happened with that? Didn't Hideo Itami come in with even bigger fanfare than Kushida? They made such a big deal about Hideo Itami, or Kenta, before they changed his name over to Hideo Itami. Hulk Hogan was there. William Regal was there. There was this big deal in the ring. Now everybody's saying Kushida's signing with NXT is historic. What is the difference? Not that I am not appreciative that WWE went out and got Kushida, but everybody that comes from Japan or is of some sort of international flavor, WWE never does anything with. They never live up to their full potential or full hype. So it's tough to get excited about this. I'm sure this guy's going to thrive in NXT. I just don't think that it will amount to anything, really. Shinsuke Nakamura believes that this is historic. Now, Nakamura spoke with Wrestling Inc.'s Scott Fishman at WrestleMania Access last week. During the interview, the SmackDown star commented on the signing. This is where he made it known to everybody that he thinks WWE signing Kushida is historic for the company and American wrestling. He says, and I quote, "Kushida joined NXT. That's huge for WWE and American wrestling history. Experienced wrestlers around the world have options to where they wrestle. And he chooses WWE and NXT. That's kind of a big deal for WWE and him. Outside of the WWE banner, Kushida has found success as he's won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship 6 times and the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles on 2 different occasions." Nakamura was also asked if his decision to join WWE had influenced other Japanese stars to sign with the company. He says this, and I quote, "I don't know. There are so many options. WWE has history. That's the difference. Also, New Japan and CMLL have history. So we all want to wrestle for legacy." End quote. WWE doesn't give a shit about legacy. They don't give a shit about what you desire as far as the profession of pro wrestling. They don't care. They want to take you and what you've built and use that name value for their brand, and after a while, all of that goes away. After a while, like Kushida here, he'll be fine in NXT. Triple H knows the value and the history and how great Kushida is. He's going to use Kushida no differently than New Japan did. This is why I appreciate NXT so much. But when everybody else on the main roster takes a look at Kushida, all of that shit and everything that Triple H has done for him here will go right out the window. Everything that Triple H does will change. Everything that Triple H has built for Kushida will not matter. Everything that Kushida has done in the ring will not matter. They're going to look at his size. They're going to deem him for something. And they're going to set a limit to him. And that's it. There will be a ceiling capped on Kushida when he makes the main roster. If he makes it that far. And I hope this is one of those instances where Triple H said when the Performance Center over in the UK opened, you know, we're trying to make NXT its own brand, its standalone brand. It's not a developmental brand. It's a legit third brand for WWE. Some people might make the jump. Some people might be in NXT for the duration of their careers. Because we want to make it a legit third brand, which it is right now, and continue to build on that. Kushida is one of those guys that fits perfectly into what Triple H stated. This is a legit third brand. Leave him here. There is no value for him on the main roster. Just like Kairi Sane, I fear for what they're going to do to this woman. Asuka, look at Asuka. Look at everything that they've taken from NXT. Do you see? I would say we would be lucky if we got 40% of what they just called up to NXT thrive and succeed. Ricochet, Aleister Black, the War Raiders, Kairi Sane. Look at everybody that they've called up. You either fit their mold or you don't. This is WWE. This is not, I would say historic. It's historic that he's coming over here. It's historic for his own resume. He wants to challenge himself with new opponents. He wants to push himself and wrestle a style that is WWE outside of what he's done in New Japan. Fine. There's really nothing historic about it to me, because everything that Nakamura mentioned about legacy and everything else that comes along with that goes right out the window when you sign the dotted line on Vince McMahon's company. I'm excited for him. I just don't have any faith in what they do with him after his tenure in NXT. Punishment Martinez. He is now branded as Damien Priest. What a play on words that is, huh? Damien is obviously the devil, and his last name is Priest. A tale of good and evil here. So I'll let you conspiracy theories or you conspiracy theorists out there dissect that one. Is Vince McMahon the devil? Probably. I don't know who came up with that name, but clearly it's a form of mockery. That's just the way I see it. I don't know. I laugh when I seen that. I'm like, what the fuck? Damien Priest? Oh my God, man. Punishment Martinez is now going under the name of Damien Priest. The Sports Business Journal recently published a profile looking at WWE's Talent Factory, the Performance Center. Yeah, the Talent Factory. Yeah, some factory you got down there. Half of what comes out of there is fucking wasted anyway. Inside the article, the former Punishment Martinez spoke about his new character. He is a former MMA star, Ring of Honor TV champion, joined NXT in late 2018. Now known as Damien Priest, he'll be getting a new persona, new music, and a new look. Priest says that the new character reflects who he is in real life because he's always been into the weird, the odd, and the dark. At 37 years old, Damien Priest is on the older side of the typical WWE recruit. He does not think his age works against him, and nor should it should not work against him. He looks fantastic for 37 years old and could move. Because at the end of the day, it's all about how you can perform. He says this, and I quote, "If I can go at the same level, then age doesn't matter. As long as I'm doing a little bit more than you, you will never be on my level. I am not a patient person, but I am a positive impatient. I'm not willing to just stand by. I'm going to keep pushing until something sticks." Listen, I hope it works out for him. They brought him in for a fucking reason. And I honestly think, with the absence of Aleister Black, he had that dark, brooding, atmospheric feel and look to him. Punishment Martinez, older than Aleister Black, could be our new Aleister Black for NXT under the new moniker of Damien Priest. So I'm going to be very interested to see what they do with him as far as the gimmick, what it looks like, his body language, his new music, his entrance, what he does in the ring as far as this new character goes. Clearly, this has been something that they've been working on, and a reason why we haven't seen him on television. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the former Punishment Martinez brings to the table when they do find a spot for him on NXT TV. WWE officially welcomes 3 big names to the Performance Center. One I am very familiar with, one I just talked about in Kushida. They have welcomed Shane Strickland, Garza Jr., and Kushida at the Performance Center officially. Now, Kushida made his debut at the last set of NXT TV tapings that was filmed last week. We'll see this in the coming weeks. Going to be interesting to see what he does in the ring there. He was actually unveiled at NXT TakeOver New York. This was actually a big surprise. They actually kept his New Japan Pro Wrestling Marty McFly gimmick. Like I mentioned, 6-time former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Hopefully he's a big deal in NXT. I could see him, no question, going up for the North American Championship. And in some cases, he could vie for the NXT Championship. I hope he has great success in NXT. WWE's been trying to get Garza Jr. and Shane the Swerve Strickland for a very long time. Strickland couldn't sign with the company for a while due to issues with his contract and Lucha Underground. Since that, the company is probably defunct right now, or since then, the company has pretty much gone away. They are defunct. They started letting people out of their contracts, but it took a lawsuit for all of that to happen. So we got King Cuerno is no more. Ivelisse is no more. Joey Ryan is no more, amongst others there. Tejano, I believe, was another one. All of those guys were let go from their contracts. Lucha Underground is dead, so I don't think they're going to come back. Shane Strickland, I know he was a former MLW champion. I know he was in House of Glory for a couple of matches, one with Gangone, one with Evander James for the Crown Jewel Championship. Anthony Gangone, he fought for the House of Glory World title. Unbelievable talent. He is going to be their replacement for Ricochet, no question. This guy is unbelievable to watch. He was actually kill shot on Lucha Underground as well, and he was actually unmasked, I believe, towards the latter end of last season, I believe it was. So, Shane Strickland coming into the Performance Center is probably something that I'm most excited about, more so than Kushida. I'm more familiar with Shane Strickland over Kushida, but this is a damn good class, and I can't wait to see what they do in NXT. Like I said, I feel he's going to be the replacement for Ricochet. He's that high-flying, just big, intense, offensive, high-flying moves. Going to be great. And I can't wait to see how they brand him and make him, get to that next level as far as entrance and gimmick and what they do as far as presentation goes. It's going to be good as far as Shane Strickland goes for the NXT roster. Before we get to the NXT results, guys, tonight from Full Sail University, I want to say tonight's podcast is sponsored by Audible. Been with me for over 2 years now. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Great way to support the show just for simply listening to tonight's NXT podcast. Go to audibletrial.com/offthescript. Go through the sign-up process. You're going to enter in your billing information. You will not be billed. Enter your billing information. You'll get 30 days free of Audible, including one free audiobook of your choice. You got over 200,000 choices to choose from, a lot of which are wrestling related, some of which you see right there on the screen. This is the best part. You're going to get 30 days. You're going to get one free audiobook. And if you feel Audible is not for you, you can cancel immediately. You can cancel anytime in that 30 days and keep your audiobook for free no matter what. Thank you guys for listening to tonight's NXT podcast. audibletrial.com/offthescript. NXT tonight, brand new set of tapings from Full Sail University. 2 title matches tonight on Wednesday. Started off with the Velveteen Dream versus Buddy Murphy for the NXT North American Championship. Like I mentioned in the beginning, Buddy Murphy is, in my eyes, the best acquisition for Smackdown Live. And that includes a list of Finn Balor, Lars Sullivan, Ember Moon, Bayley, and that fucking clown Roman Reigns. Buddy Murphy is so underrated. And I feel that if you see him on SmackDown Live on a regular basis, you're going to fall in love with what this guy does. I mentioned to a few people tonight who were texting me during NXT, Buddy Murphy has the makings of a quintessential perfect Intercontinental Champion. I am already envisioning him in matches with Finn Balor over the Intercontinental Championship. That's how good this guy is. And I am more than happy to see him move from 205 Live onto SmackDown Live. That was the one move I was hoping for out of the entire Superstar shakeup. Now, this match actually came about because of a little run-in after his match at WrestleMania on the pre-show with Tony Nese. Velveteen Dream was in gorilla position, and Buddy Murphy walks by. Velveteen Dream was filming himself for social media. Buddy Murphy walks by, and Velveteen Dream made mention of Buddy Murphy being a loser, and he couldn't handle the spotlight at WrestleMania. And Buddy Murphy was like, "Excuse me? Who the fuck you think you're talking to?" And Velveteen Dream was like, "I'm the North American champion." You know? Buddy Murphy was like, "Fuck this shit." He walked away. He's like, "I just stole the show out there on WrestleMania." And then Velveteen Dream obviously took offense to that. "Steal the show? Why don't you go back on the WWE Network and watch the Dreams match with Matt Riddle for the North American Championship?" Talking about stealing the show. So that's how this match came about. I was excited for this, just based on who these two guys were and the work ethic of both guys. This started off slow. They were feeling each other out. And then they picked up a pace, and they did not stop whatsoever. Buddy Murphy is one of the most athletic guys that you will see in a WWE ring, man. His suicide dive over the top rope is Kenny Omega-like. And I mean that wholeheartedly, man. It is a thing of fucking beauty. Dream gets sent out to the floor. Murphy flips over the top rope with a tope. Unbelievable. Sends Dream back into the ring, goes to the top rope, delivers a meteora off the top rope, only gets a 2 count. Crowd was into this. They were chanting both of these guys. They were cheering for Dream mostly, but they appreciated the work of Buddy Murphy. We got Dream avoiding a super kick and lands one of his own. Murphy locks in a sleeper hold. Dream recovers, hits a super kick of his own. Back and forth. Dream with a drop kick, back elbow, clothesline. Murphy out to the floor. Dream jumps off the top rope a la Macho Man Randy Savage with the double axe handle to the floor. Back in the ring, Dream heads to the top rope, lands on his feet, hits a code breaker, and only gets a 2 count. Dream tries for the Dream Valley Driver, which he tried for multiple times during the match, and he did not get it. But Murphy kicks him in the face after an attempt of the Dream Valley Driver. Murphy then with a tornado snap over the top rope. I thought he was going to go for a tornado DDT. He tornadoes himself to the apron and hangs Dream's throat on the top rope. Very nicely done there. So after the tornado snap, Buddy Murphy goes back up top. He gets slapped in the face by Dream. Dream heads up top. Both men are going at it on the top rope. They fall to the outside. And the referee counts all the way up till 9, and they both make it back in at 9. So Dream with multiple punches, and Buddy Murphy is countering Dream back and forth. Murphy hits a snap DDT for a 2 count. And Dream finally hits the Dream Valley Driver for a close 2 count. Dream heads up to the top turnbuckle. Murphy follows. Dream tucks his head, and Buddy Murphy delivers a sick super kick right between Velveteen Dream's legs. Delivers a sit-out powerbomb, pulling Dream off the top rope, only 2 count. Both men end up on the apron. Murphy with a huge leaping knee strike, and the sound of this was fucking sickening. Huge leaping knee strike to Dream's face. Murphy gets Dream back into the ring. Referee counts away. This was great. This spot was great. The jumping knee on the outside knocked Dream out so much, left him laying as if he was dead weight. Buddy Murphy couldn't get him back in the ring before the 10 count. So what Buddy Murphy did was slide back in the ring, break the referee's 10 count, slide back out, had to start all over again, takes Dream, rolls him back into the ring. I love little things like that, man. I love watching things like that unfold. That's the psychology of a great fucking wrestler. So Murphy gets Dream back into the ring. Now, Dream, out of nowhere, this was boom, 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 boom. After Murphy threw Dream into the ring after the jumping knee strike, Dream hits him with the Famouser. Buddy Murphy is laid out. He hits the Dream Valley Driver and then the Purple Rainmaker, which was beautiful, and he retains the North American Championship. This was a great fucking match. A great fucking match. And all the reason you need to kind of brush up on Buddy Murphy if you don't know who Buddy Murphy is, which I hope that if you're listening to me, you know who Buddy Murphy is. So this was a great match, and I wish Buddy Murphy nothing but success on the main roster. Street Profits. They are filming on their phone, or I believe it was their phone, or they had their standalone cameraman. Street Profits head over to William Regal's office to ask for an opportunity for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Montez Ford knocks on the door, and out comes the War Raiders, wearing War Raiders merchandise. So just by that, I left, and obviously, the War Raiders name change didn't happen until the wee hours of Monday night. Because clearly, they were not under the impression that they were probably getting called up, or the fact that they were going to have a name change. And here we are with Hanson and Rowe wearing War Raiders merchandise. So the War Raiders walk out. They said that they've heard what the Street Profits have been saying. Then they say next week the two teams will meet for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I didn't read the spoilers. I don't think the Street Profits win, but should be a good match nonetheless. With the War Raiders and the Street Profits. Johnny Gargano is in the ring, and Johnny Champion signs are strewn about in the crowd. Gargano's in the ring, says they've been waiting a very long time for this moment, speaking to Full Sail. Most of the crowd starts a "You deserve it" chant, with some actually saying, "No, you don't." I don't know where this Johnny Gargano heat is coming from. I don't know. Maybe you're sick of Johnny. Maybe you're sick of the underdog fairy tale story and you're more on Adam Cole's side. I don't know. But he did get some "No, you don't" chants. Gargano talks about becoming champion at TakeOver, and then quickly interrupted by Adam Cole of the Undisputed Era. Cole says he's not going to listen to another love fest with Johnny Gargano and the NXT universe. Cole says he beat Gargano, and if it was any other match, he would have won. Crowd started chanting, "You tapped out," to Adam Cole. Cole then says Gargano is an idiot and is nothing more than a punk. He's the uncrowned champion. Johnny then wondered if Adam Cole is so emotional because his little boy band is having trouble. And he mentioned In Sync to Johnny. Oh, what? Undisputed Era is not In Sync? Play on words there for Mr. Johnny Champion. Gargano then reminded Cole that he won their match 2-1, and that made him the champion. And Cole continues to try and talk. Johnny cuts him off, says, if I lost, I wouldn't be out here complaining like a baby. Gotta keep it PG, Johnny, really? I would have loved to hear Johnny say, if I lost, I wouldn't be out here complaining like a bitch. Let's push the envelope a little bit, man. I wouldn't be complaining like a baby. I know that's Adam Cole's shtick, but it's kind of cringe. And I love me some Johnny Gargano. I'm sorry. Gargano offers up another fight with Cole. Then, all of a sudden, we got the Undisputed Era approaching the ring. And minus Roderick Strong. It's Fish, O'Reilly, and Cole. So clearly you knew something was going on here. Because where the fuck was Roderick Strong? Oh, that's right. He came from the crowd and he attacked Johnny Gargano from behind. The group then do a 4-on-1 attack. They beat down Johnny Gargano. They all hold Gargano up while Adam Cole super kicks Gargano in the face. And then they all stand over his broken body doing the Undisputed Era hand gesture. And that was it. We got Dominic Dijakovic. I'm getting it right. Versus Aaron Fry. The Fry-lator. You guys know from that other video I did about some other fucking idiot in the community. The Fry-lator. The Fry-lator, my baby daughter. I don't know why I keep mentioning him, man. These fucking playing on words. Adam Fry. I was expecting this guy's gimmick to be the Burger King coming out with a fucking fast food hat. Flipping Aaron Fry. What the fuck? This was over before I even fucking picked my head up from my phone. Because I believe I was tweeting about the War Raiders. That they have new merchandise. Look, they have new merchandise out. The War Raiders. Dijakovic wins with a absolutely devastating tornado kick. Dropped the Fry-lator down instantly. And we were done. That was it. Dijakovic wins via pinfall. Post-match, Dijakovic took the microphone. He actually spoke. He says he's only in NXT because his family came to the United States. That power is coursing through his blood, and now he only sees the North American Championship. So feast your eyes, Velveteen Dream. What happened to the match with Keith Lee? I think you should get through Keith Lee first before you start targeting the North American Champion. Just saying. Kathy Kelly caught up with the Undisputed Era. She asked them about the tension within the group that looks to be gone now. Cole says emotions don't dictate how they act around each other. Well, William Regal says, go fuck yourself, Mr. Adam Cole. I'm going to prove you wrong right now because I'm going to disrupt the Undisputed Era. William Regal shows up and says that he talked with good old Johnny Gargano, who's more happy to face Undisputed Era, and specifically mentioned that it won't be Adam Cole, but he wants Roderick Strong. Next week, Gargano will take on Strong, and Cole, in this instance, looked to be very bothered because of the way William Regal acted. Now, I don't think Adam Cole is upset with Roderick Strong because this was a plan devised by all four. He's just upset that the plan for him to get the match with Johnny didn't pan out immediately, and he's more upset at William Regal than he is at Roderick Strong. He's got no reason to be upset with Roderick Strong here because the job was done. So there you go. We'll see what happens. And now, if Roderick Strong loses next week, which he should, because no champions, especially your NXT champion, should be losing on TV in a non-title match, then Adam Cole has a reason to be mad at Roderick Strong. So we'll see what happens next week with that match between Cole, or Strong rather, and Johnny Gargano. Backstage, Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne talk about Candice LeRae, who defeated Aaliyah last week. Aaliyah says LeRae just got lucky because she and Bourne were too busy in New York shopping and sightseeing. You didn't need to tell me that. I could just watch you two wrestle in the ring, and I know you do not do anything as far as pro wrestling goes. So for the fact, this is what they do. This is another innuendo here in the promo. Shopping and sightseeing? Yeah, I could clearly see it in your wrestling ability. Bourne says next week LeRae should find a partner for a tag team match. Who is it going to be? I don't know. Shayna Baszler with Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir versus Kairi Sane, NXT Women's Championship match. If Sane loses, she gets demoted to the main roster. That's what they should have said. But really, the catchphrase here, or the tagline was, if Sane loses, she'll never get another opportunity at the NXT Women's Championship. Man, you talk about doing the honors for somebody here. Jesus fucking Christ, this was a complete one-sided affair. Shayna Baszler dominated the last, I would say, 7 or 8 minutes of this match, and she did not look back at all. She sent Kairi Sane packing. She packed her bags solely all on her own for Kairi Sane and sent her back packing to SmackDown Live. Now, Kairi Sane got in some offense here, but it wasn't like, she really made a competitive match out of this. Sane tried for a flying elbow to the floor. This was the turning point of the match. She missed, and she nailed her arm and her elbow on the steel barricade on the outside. Referee went to check on Kairi Sane as Baszler goes right out there and says, fuck this shit. Listen. She flew off the fucking apron, and now you're attending to her while the match is still going on. Io Shirai comes out. They're all, concerned about Kairi Sane. Shayna was like, fuck this shit. Grabs Kairi Sane by the back of her outfit, by the straps on her outfit, pulls her back into the ring. Sane tossed back into the ring by Baszler, working over Kairi Sane's arm. Baszler lifts Kairi Sane up for one of them gut-wrench face plants. She got that on Kairi Sane. She went right back to the arm, wrenching away on the arm, manipulating the joints. Sane finally gets a foot on the bottom rope to break this submission hold by Shayna Baszler. Sane heads out to the floor. Referee checks on her again, decides to halt the match temporarily and get a doctor out to check on Kairi Sane mid-match. So Sane says she's fine because she wants to win the title. Io Shirai comes out, and Baszler grabs Sane, pulls her back into the ring, and Baszler pins Sane's arm down, stomps on it like she did to Ember Moon and Dakota Kai in previous months, and that was the end-all be-all. Shirai leaped in, saved Kairi Sane here, and causes a DQ because she couldn't stand to see her friend get beat up anymore. Or tortured, I should say, anymore. Baszler wins by DQ. Sane can now never challenge for the NXT Women's Championship again. Post-match, Baszler and Shirai are going at it. They're tossing verbal words back and forth. Shafir and Duke yank Io Shirai out of the ring, and they hold her as Shayna Baszler stomps on Kairi Sane's arm again. So all of them leave. Baszler, Shafir, and Duke leave. Io Shirai comes in after she's let go, set free, to check on Kairi Sane. Crowd is booing. Shirai, checking on Kairi Sane, is looking up towards the ramp at the NXT Women's Champion, and she's just screaming these primal yells from Io Shirai. 2 things here. Actually, 3 things. One of them you already know. I'm worried about Kairi Sane on the main roster. I don't know what they're going to do with Asuka and Kairi Sane as a tag team. I don't really like that pairing because Asuka is worth so much more than that, and so is Kairi Sane. 2, with Io now in NXT without Kyrie, she can now focus on the NXT Women's Championship, and I'm sure this is where they're going to go with this storyline. She's going to get revenge on what they did to her best friend. So I like that, and it should be a case where Io gets the title from Shayna Baszler. So it looks like that's where they're going. What happens to Bianca Belair, I don't know. Number 3, Kairi Sane was brought up on Tuesday. We all know NXT was taped. Kairi Sane was brought up on SmackDown Tuesday. She had no visible injuries. She had no kinesio tape. She had none of that. No injuries at all. So now we've seen this on Wednesday after the Superstar Shakeup and her debut on SmackDown with Asuka. We got this on Wednesday. Is WWE... I don't even know why I'm mentioning this because fuck Vince McMahon. He doesn't watch NXT. He don't give a fuck what happens on NXT television. I'm thinking out loud because it's fucking common logic. Kairi Sane was injured here. Oh, my arm. Right? On Wednesday, is she going to show up on Tuesday selling a fucking arm injury? No, probably not. Because NXT doesn't exist. What you watched tonight was nothing more than a fucking dream. Fuck me for trying to fill in the logic gaps Well, Vince McMahon's hiring somebody to be a script supervisor. Watch the fucking programs, they say. Here you go. Make sense of what is on TV. The woman was incapacitated by Shayna Baszler. I would like to see some semblance of that injury on Tuesday, but that's probably asking too much from WWE main roster creative. I'm getting out of here, guys. That is all I got tonight. A good episode of NXT. You know, I'm excited to see what the Velveteen Dream does with the North American Championship. Johnny and Adam Cole clearly looks to be continuing. I don't know what's happening with the Undisputed Era. There's a lot of teases going around. This was the second tease that the Undisputed Era has some minor tension. I'm sure it's going to increase as the weeks go on. And Shayna Baszler and Io Shirai looks to be the women's program moving forward after TakeOver New York. Should be fun, man. But all in all, good episode of NXT. Should get better as the weeks go on. And we're in this little lull period. We're not going to see anything too heavy promoting NXT San Jose, NXT TakeOver San Jose. That's the next TakeOver show, the standalone TakeOver show happening because we got Money in the Bank happening in May, which I still don't know why they moved it from June to May. So the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is slotted as a major pay-per-view. It's one of the big five. And NXT TakeOver was going to accompany that. So WWE opted to move Money in the Bank to May, and now NXT TakeOver is a standalone show on a random Saturday in June. So that looks to be where WWE is building storylines. So we got all of this ready to go throughout the entire month of April, and then we got the build for May, which would probably end up being the TakeOver build, and we'll see what happens and how that materializes, man. It should be fun. But all in all, this was a good episode. And Buddy Murphy, man, go back and watch that match with Buddy Murphy. He is absolutely the star acquisition for the Superstar Shakeup on SmackDown Live. He is absolutely amazing. Can't wait to see what he does on SmackDown Live. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. That's JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. By the way, clowns. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. JDs Elite. Get your t-shirt. Own one of the top-selling t-shirts in the internet wrestling community, the YouTube wrestling community, down below, bonfire.com. Make sure you guys go and check out all the other videos you might have missed off the script. Over 100,000 views this past weekend, man. Unbelievable. All spearheaded by that Sasha Banks story. We got more on Friday. And Raw, SmackDown, tonight, NXT. And I even did an off-the-script extra for you guys today, this afternoon, right before this goes up. Make sure you guys check all of that out. Link is in the top right corner of the screen with that annotation, man. Thank you guys so very much, and I'll see you possibly tomorrow with something, and then definitely Friday for Off the Script episode 271. Until then, guys, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you all then. Take care.